Alright, today we're going to create a collage. So if you go to New, you can pick the size you like. Now remember, maybe today it's going to be a big collage. I'll print these down at Harvey Norman for you if you like. So let's make them 10 inches. Remember, your machine will have a different view here. So we'll still make it 10 inches by the height 8 inches. That gives a little, it's about the size of A4 sheet, and you can create one. There it is on my screen there, you can see it. And what you're going to do is today you're going to try and bring in about 4 or 5 images, your favourite ones, and create a collage on the front of this 8 by 10 picture. Remember, this is the background, so you can see over on the right hand side, this is the background. It's white. For the moment, that's going to leave it white. I'm just going to bring in or open some photographs. So you go File, Open. You're going to bring in some photographs you like. I might go into here and use, I'll see if I can find a folder that's got some images in them. Okay, so here's a book of photographs that I've got. You could use the Swimming Carnival. So they're quite pretty, I quite like these. So what I'm going to now do is just open a few of them. Now let's just open one at a time. So click on one, open it up. There it is. Remember, this is your photograph and you want it to create on a collage. You can do it two ways. Normally you click on this tool. Okay, it's called the Move tool, and it shows you a little video there, the Move. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to grab the center of it. I'm going to push it to my new photograph and then bring it back, and you can see that it has an unusual border around the total image, and I'm going to let it go, and there's the photograph. Now here are my transform lines. They're probably still okay for you to be there. So what you do is you push them, you pull, you push. You've got it square, you can move it anywhere you like on the picture. I'm going to push it up here, doesn't have to cover the whole lot. When you move off the picture, you see I have a little, it's really called I would call it the transform by angle tool. And I'm just going to spin it a little bit. So I'm going to stick that one in the corner. And if I'm happy for a moment, I'll just leave it there. You'll notice it's formed another layer already. So this picture is actually sitting on top of the background. Once you're happy with where it is, you just click in the middle of it, and it should be frozen where it is. You can do two things. If you've still got the transform borders around the outside of it, you can just click on another tool and they'll disappear. Or the next thing you do is certainly File, Open, and find yourself another picture. I'll use this one of this guy here. Remember, I'm going to go back to the Move tool, click on this, push it up to the original picture, pull it in, let it go. I'm going to use the Transform tool to move it around a little bit. Angles, push it up, move it down. Any size you like, anywhere you like. Try not to leave little white edges on the end, even make the picture bigger to try and fill it in. So at the moment you can see that there's two pictures lying on top of each other. You can see one picture on layer 1 is underneath it and layer 2 is over the top. Again, you can just click on this image. Okay, you can still transform if you like, but it's set or frozen at the moment where it is. You can drag it out. You can still drag it out, but once you click over here another tool, just apply if you like, if it comes up, if that comes up. I'm really telling you that you can see background, layer 1, layer 2. Remember, whatever layer you click on, that is the layer you're working on. So I'm still on layer 2. I'm going to open a new picture, bring it in, open a new picture. I'll scroll down to mine. There's a country picture there, something. I like that. Grab this image, push it back to the original. Oh, I've lost mine for a moment. So I've probably got too many images open. I'll close the other two. Just close that one, close that one. So now I've got my original picture I'm working on and the one I just found. Push on the move tool again, grab this, push it up there, pull it in, transform my image down, move it around, get in the right position. You say, wait a minute, some pictures are right over the top of others and you don't like them. We will have a go at what we can do there in a minute. Just get all the pictures in the right position, and I'll just quickly do another one. File, open. I'll bring in another picture, a waterfall here. I'll just move, bring it in, transform it, shove it around. I'll go the other way. So you got a picture of a lake there. Alright, so what you've got an image. This is called a collage. You can do it any way you like. You can have thousands on there. You've got your background, your layer 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now remember, wherever you click on, if I'm working on layer 4, then that's the layer that will be affected. That will be that picture. Now normally they would actually say click on layer 4 here, and you can rename it. I'm sure there's a renaming tool. If I click up here, you should be able to just actually click on the little word layer and it should change. So we'll just call it waterfall. Because imagine if you had hundreds and hundreds of pictures, you're trying to find the one that you did and what layer it is. Obviously you could name it waterfall. Next layer underneath 3 was brook, a brook or a river. This one was waterfall. This one's like white water. Anyway, you get the idea. You can name them all. In a later tutorial, you'll realise that in a master class you would name all the layers if you had 50 layers here, and that's what you do. Alright, you've got your picture and it's sitting on top here, and there are 4 of them. If you want a real collage, or you can just print it as it is, you would just go layer, flatten the image. I'll do this here, there it is, and your file, save as JPEG, send it to me and I will print it. But I think that's boring. I'll just undo that little step for me. There they are, all there. And I could have gone to history, remember, turned it on, and I could have just gone back and forth. I could have flattened it there, then just gone back one, okay, and it would have been back to where it is. Now I can see the background. Let's make the background. That's the one I'm going to work on. So click on the background. For me, you might have yours perfectly, but I see a little white spot there. I'm going to paint that white spot different colour. I'm going to paint it black because that's what I want it printed. And watch this, I just rub in the tool. It's the only, it should be the only thing. I'm on the right. Oh, I put it on the wrong layer. That's black. So I've now made the front of it black, the foreground. If I paint now, you'll see a little black area just underneath. I might paint the whole of it black, and you think, well, what good's that? You can't see it. You might be able to see it if you're going to transform or remove these photographs. I'm going to click on the white water one. You might want to bring the white water one to the front. How do you do that? You grab this one, you push it all the way to the top of the layers, and that image will come to the front. There it is. It looks a bit sharp on the edges. So all I would do is I get my rubber tool or eraser. I can tell that it's got an opacity of 100. It's got a flow of 100. It's fairly smooth. My brush has got a nice soft edge on it. So sometimes I make the tool a little bit bigger for this exercise. So it's a soft edge. The tool's this big. You watch what happens when I just touch this. Sometimes just get rid of the heavy edges. Just get rid of the heavy edges on the image. So the image is still there, but that edge can blend into the next photograph. I like that. Let's try the edge of this one. See this here, what I'd call the brook. I'm going to click on that layer, use the eraser tool. Maybe it's a bit big this time. I'll rub that down. That's a bit better. I'm just going to take off that sharp edge there. Just like that. And then do the waterfall here. Take the waterfall, rub that off. Soften it. Now you've got to be very careful. If you miss one of these little edges and you do it wrong, and I wouldn't have that tree in there, the tree looks a bit silly. So let's get rid of the tree. So you've still got a nice picture. Now once I've done that, I've ruined the brook, so I have to get rid of the sharp edge on him. And away you go, more and more and more and more, until you get just the collage that you like. That's beautiful. I'm very happy with that. I layer, I flatten the image, there it is. I file, save as, upload it to me. If you're really smart, you could write something across the middle of it, but for now, that's half a collage. It's just a simple way of doing it, and it looks and prints beautifully. What would be the next step? You might use adjustments here and levels to make it look more beautiful. Change the picture of it. What I'm doing here is just moving the levels up and down, changing the way the image looks. You can do whatever you like to the picture, make it brighter. There you go. It depends on how you'd like it. Remember, how it prints on the screen might be not how it prints in real life, but I actually quite like that. So file, save as, name it, collage. We'll just call it Col 218. That's it. And save it. It's quite small. That's fine, because I know the pictures I was using. They were quite small. Okay, try and keep it. That's okay. It won't print fantastically with that size. It probably should be about 1 meg, but that'll be fine. So okay, and that's it. So the higher the quality of the photographs, even if you use 30 small images, this is what you'll probably have a better picture. Alright crew, that's good. That'll do. Do that exercise and send it to me.